What's up, people? Welcome back to another episode of Stars and Garters. I am Katie Pettit, and today we have another fun top 10 for you, going back to some Disney. I feel like might have taken a break from that for a while, but I've had this list made for a long time now, and I've been meaning to do it, and so I am doing it. It's another Disney characters list, and I love how there are so many subsections of Disney characters that can be made list of. I already did it on my top 10 characters in general over on True V Radio, which you should check out. I've done my top 10 villains, and today I'm going to be talking about the Sidekicks. One of the most iconic group of Disney, you know, types. Uh, just everybody loves them, everybody can get behind them, and they make the movie sometimes. And this was really fun list to make because it's different. You order them differently than how you would order just like characters in general, because there are different criteria for being a sidekick and how well they fit the role of a sidekick, as well as just their general how much do you like the character. So it was really fun to make it, and let's just go ahead and jump right on into it. All right, so at number 10 we have Abu from Aladdin. Now, I put this on there before I had rewatched Aladdin, because I just recently rewatched Aladdin on Walt Disney Day, which was last I can't read words. Oh, last Thursday. Last Thursday on what does that say? The 5th, it looks like, on December 5th. I could be wrong on that, but we rewatched Aladdin for that, and I had forgotten how every single character in this movie is just inexplicably sassy the whole time. Just it's hilarious, and Abu is no different. Abu had like all of us cracking up because he doesn't really even speak words, which is kind of that's kind of one of the best parts about him, is that he just makes squeaky sounds that definitely almost are words, but they're just also not, and that's amazing. And he's so like snarky in his squeaking. It's so cute. It's adorable, and he's just angry at everything all the time. And he has firm opinions on everything. His take on Jasmine at first is hilarious. And of course, as a sidekick though, like he's a great sidekick. He's Aladdin's best friend, like only friend at first, and he's very helpful in his stealing. And he's, he deep down inside, he's a good monkey. He does eventually give the bread with all of his monkey germs on it to the children. So he is a good dude, but mostly it's on this list for just the amount of sass that he has. I was so surprised because I've forgotten about it. Like, mostly I just remembered about this movie like Genie and the songs and Jafar's beard. But honestly, Abu is great and has a lot of personality for a monkey who makes word-like squeaks. So yeah, Abu is great. On a similar vein, it's like Abu 2.0 but evil. We have also from Aladdin, Iago. See, I didn't qualify what kind of sidekicks they had to be. We can put villain sidekicks on here too. I don't feel like there are enough well, there probably are. I won't say that. But Iago, again, was something that really surprised me about this movie. First of all, Gilbert Gottfried's performance is like at least half of what makes him so hilarious. But he has some of the funniest lines in the movie, and he's arguably more evil and smarter than Jafar. I mean, he does make the whole plan to like for Jafar to marry Jasmine. That was his idea. He's also very sassy, and his voice is like it's Gilbert Gottfried's voice, so it just has a certain quality to it, and you know what that means if you know what that means. So you know, and it's pretty great to me. He's hilarious. He's good at voice acting, talented parrot. Um, and I mean, I kind of like I wish that, I don't think he deserved the same fate as Jafar, because he shouldn't have gotten sucked up in the lamp. Because he is, again, I think he is more evil, but like honestly, he's just too fun and too good to be punished. And also, he's a parrot, so what's he gonna do? He's smarter than Jafar, but he's not gonna be able to do anything without Jafar. So I think he shouldn't have got sucked in the lamp. He should have just like flown off and started a comedy career or something. No. But Iago, again, was one of the highlights of rewatching it. Just so funny. And it's like more funny, even, like, again, like I said, it was like Abu 2.0, because it's just like sassy, angry animal character. But Iago was better because he's evil. So he's allowed to be a little bit more. He doesn't have any restrictions on him per se. So Iago was hilarious, and I loved watching that. It was great. It was honestly a great time. I forgot how good that movie was. All right, moving on to number 8. Rereading this list to before I did this episode, I considered taking this character off because I was like, why did I put that? I mean, I know she's iconic, but like me personally, not a big fan. But then I remembered we're talking about sidekicks, and that only includes one version of this character. Because at number 8, I have put Tinkerbell. Now, hold up. Specifically, the sidekick version of Tinkerbell, not from all her own movies. That's arguably a different character. In, like, Peter Pan, and I don't know if Peter Pan had sequels, but that Tinkerbell, the Tinkerbell who, instead of being like this quirky, smart, whatever, I forgot what those movies were about, she's just an absolute menace to society. She's so mean. She's also very sassy, very snarky. Um, kind of a jerk, very jealous, and hilarious. I mean, she doesn't really do anything to help anybody, but she does. I mean, she helps them fly and stuff, but she's kind of. I feel like the entire movie, she just didn't even know why she's here. Like, why is she friends with Peter Pan? She doesn't seem like she likes anybody. she's she's really truly a menace to society, and I don't know how we got from that to the Tinkerbell in her solo movies, because it's completely different. But what I was thinking of was she just mean, angry to everyone. Doesn't speak, by the way, which also is kind of a bonus. it's even more funny. She was just there because she was with Peter. She gives him the flying thing, and then beyond that, her entire purpose is to make smart remarks somehow so clearly without even having to say anything. And I think that's almost like a talent, like, and Tinkerbell was the best at it. It has been a while since I watched Peter Pan. Like, I don't even know if I've ever watched it through. I just know that I just know about the sassy Tinkerbell before they gave her a whole character rewrite, and I was a fan. Also, I was like, I took this quiz, and I can't remember what exactly. I can't remember what exactly the quiz was. It was some like, what combination of these characters are you? And I got like a very high percentage of Tinkerbell, and I was so offended. And then I kind of remembered, oh well, the first version of Tinkerbell, I can kind of maybe see that a little bit. But besides that, the OG menace to society Tinkerbell is an amazing sidekick, and could have been doing something better than helping those idiot children, which I'm sure is what she thinks of them as. But she was there, and she did help, and then she just sassed around for the rest of the movie. So kudos to her. And Tinkerbell movie Tinkerbell does not count because she's not even a sidekick at that point, and that kind of ruins her charm. All right, at number 7, a character who I have loved since I first watched this movie, who is the only thing that kind of makes me want to go back and watch this movie, because I just like I haven't watched this movie in so long, because I'm like, not because I forgot to, like I am avoiding this movie. Not because it's bad or anything. I just can't watch it. It's too sad. It's too sad, but this character is very appealing, and I've always loved her every time I watch this movie. She's a great part of it. Uh, did not know that she was a girl until about the halfway point of my life, but of my life up until now. And I, I don't think that changed much about my opinion of her. I think it actually made me like her more. But at number 7, who else could we have but Turk from Tarzan? I mean, just first of all, Rosie O'Donnell as Turk makes me very happy, because she was in a very good era right there, and it's kind of sad that she ever went out. She was doing good, and this was her role. I mean, she had a lot of great roles. It's this and uh the character that she played in A League of Their Own. They're like, that's who I want to think of when I think of Rosie O'Donnell. But first of all, there's that, and then also Trash in the Camp is an incredible song. It's the only song from Tarzan that I have on any of my playlists. It's such a bop, and it shouldn't be, considering it's mostly just noises, but it is, and that's thanks to Turk. If she hadn't banged that first pot, it never would have happened. But other than that, her personality is a is a type that's just appealing to me. She's like loud, she's abrasive, she's blunt and like rambunctious and stuff. And as a sidekick, I think that she works very well. She's one of Tarzan's best friends, and she very much goes along with him for the whole journey, and has to like you actually see them grow up together, which is nice. It adds a whole extra layer to it, and they go throughout the events of the movie together, and she also has her own reactions, but she's also there to support Tarzan, and she does pretty well at that. But overall, just she's like, just her type of character is very appealing, and she's always really fun. And I want to watch Tarzan again, mostly for Turk, but it's too sad. I can't do it. Like, I had put My Girl on an I'm not gonna watch this movie ever again because it's too sad list again, and then I watched it, and then I'm like, I shouldn't have watched it. This is why it was on there, and I feel like that's gonna be Tarzan. I'm just gonna try to watch it, and then I'm gonna be like, this was a mistake, even though Turk is there, and obviously Turk is great, but I just can't. I just can't do it. I can't get past the first scene. It's too much. And then freaking Phil Collins. But we're not talking about that. We're just saying that Turk is a great sidekick, and yeah, that's basically the point. So, moving on. At number 6, it is debatable whether or not this little guy is the sidekick or the star of the movie. I mean, he's probably the star, but I do think he kind of fits the sidekick archetype. He checks most of the boxes. Sidekicks stealing the show is not an unusual thing, but they're still sidekicks. Just because of the type that they fit into. So at number 6, I have included Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. So it does feel I am still like right now debating if he counts as a sidekick or not, because the movie is called Lilo and Stitch. But I'm gonna go ahead and count him because he's an a funny animal aid to the main character. So I mean, they're not always animals, obviously, but that's pretty much what the definition of the sidekick is in the Disney. So yeah, I've only watched Lilo and Stitch once, and it was like last year I watched it for the first time. I didn't know how good it was. I know that Stitch is kind of like a cultural phenomenon, but uh, I wasn't really expecting anything. I just didn't know what to expect. Hadn't really looked into what this movie could be, but it ended up being way better than I expected. Totally past my expectations, and a huge portion of that, like the fact that I liked it so much, goes credit to Stitch because he's like one of the best characters on this list that is like a great balance of he's super funny and has a lot of awesome comedic moments, but he also like drives a lot of the deep stuff in the story of the movie as well. Um and that's a great thing to have as a sidekick. Um just also being merchable, I think, is important for sidekicks as well, and Stitch is extremely merchable, so that's good. Stitch has a great voice that is very fun to impersonate. I used to be able to do a good one. I don't know if I still can, and I'm not gonna try it right now, so sorry, but his voice is great. Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. Iconic. Several other iconic things. Also, just like he's kind of freaky. He's kind of a freaky little guy, but in the best way possible. I wasn't expecting that. I was kind of expecting him to be more cute and just do funny things, but he's also like he's very clearly a dangerous creature. Like I feel like he could commit some atrocities. I'm just saying, if he wanted to, I feel like he definitely could. I feel like he eats metal. Sometimes he might have done that in the movie, but he's not evil, and he's just like a cute little guy, and he wants to help his friends now. So that's great that they have that on their side. He is a little bit of a menace as well, but he's cute and it's funny, so it's fine. And he's also, very. He has some of the most like, oh, like not all like, oh, he's cute, but all like, oh, that was a sweet moment kind of things in the movie. Some of the things he says are really nice. So he has a lot of the layers coming together for him. Just does it really well. Um, and I do wish I owned some Stitch merch now, because like that's just it feels right. That kind of his whole deal feels right to have on merchandise more so than a lot of Disney characters, like more than Olaf, you guys. But anyway, moving on. All right, so it's interesting that this character is at number 5 on the side characters list. They placed much higher on a different list, but as a character, I absolutely just completely love everything about them. As a sidekick, in my opinion, there are better sidekicks who fit the role of sidekick better. But at number 5, we do have my favorite Disney character of all time, the genie. Now, again, I believe I have included every single sidekick from Aladdin except for Raja, because Raja doesn't do anything except help Jasmine get up a tree. And Raja's very cute. Like, no offense to Raja, but every sidekick except for Raja from Aladdin. And I didn't even make this like right after rewatching Aladdin, so I wasn't biased or anything. Aladdin just happened to really nail the sidekick thing. So with Genie, like obviously this placement on this list just comes from everything that I love about him as a character that would put him at number 1 on my characters list. Robin Williams, just Robin Williams. um, his songs, his whole vibe of just being chaos, but perfect. Just like hilarious. So good. Like in the for the movie, he like does drive a lot of the plot, and he as a sidekick. Again, I said thought there were better sidekicks, but as far as he goes, he comes off a lot more powerful and I guess important and a little more front and center than a lot of sidekicks. But he also does fit that role of aiding the hero in their quest. Just he doesn't do that too much, like as much as I remembered him doing it. He mostly just quips and is chaos again, which is great, which is why I love him. But He doesn't fill the role of sidekick as well as some of the others I thought, but I think he still absolutely does fill the role. And like, just he's the genie, and I love him. And I said all I need to say about him in the top 10 characters episode, which you should you should go watch that one. Um, but yeah, the genie is incredible. Not maybe not the most incredible as a sidekick, but just incredible in general. All right, number 4. We've spoken number 4's name before in this episode. He does happen to be one of the most merchandisable characters in Disney history. He does, he that yeah. That's all I can really say without just completely giving it away. He's a very unique character. But what number are we on? At number 4, from the movie Frozen, we have the ever iconic Olaf. So yes, Josh Gad contributes hugely to this. Thank you, sir, for lending your voice to that. It was great. Oh look, I've been impaled. Iconic. Makes me laugh every time. Um, just very like just the best thing about him is how just like he's like a little puppy dog. He's just very innocent and funny and says some very out of pocket offhand things, and it's great. But also he has a lot of heart. Probably yes, the most of this list so far. That's why he's higher up. Some people are worth melting for. He has incredible quippy one-liners and also incredible mushy, gushy, lovey lines that are both equally quotable. And he's like his charm carries on across 2 movies, which is great because like a risk of a side character is kind of being a one-off comedic relief character, and Olaf's charm actually perseveres, I guess, throughout 2 movies, which is great. Samantha. That part. I haven't rewatched Frozen 2 yet, but I just remember specifically watching that in the theater and just cracking up at anything, just at the Samantha thing specifically. And both of his songs are pretty good. In Summer, for me, is definitely the better one. But you know what? When I Am Older is pretty funny as well. His whole, like, deceptively dark subplot of wanting to be in summer in the first one is great, and some great like just dark pitch black humor there kind of. And then I mean in the second one he doesn't have anything of that going for him, but just his innocent, like goofy, stupid charm. It is in both movies and it's great. And I think that is he just embodies this sidekick very well, just being super funny, but also being very, just having really sweet moments sometimes, and always being there to help the main characters, and just not necessarily having the biggest plot of their own, but definitely boosting along the character and whatever their plot is going through. And I think Olaf does that super well. Alrighty, moving on to the podium. This character also happens to appear on my top 10 characters list. And so do the next 2. Lol. Of course they do. Very different order, though. Well, actually, okay, that is hilarious. I didn't even notice that. But we're not talking about that right now. Number 3, another attributed to an iconic voice acting performance and iconic lines, and just, again, really embodying the sidekick persona. We have at number 3, Mushu from Mulan. So I think he might have been number 9 on my top 10 characters in general list. So all the things I said there stand. Eddie Murphy just killing it and bringing all of the just sass. Again, why are sidekicks so sassy, and why is it perfect? Like, every time. It just iconic lines, dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow. That is one of my favorite lines in a movie in general. and it should be used always whenever there is a slight possibility of it. And um but also he does the same thing of he's just really, he has his own depth and he's not a totally one-off character, but he uses all of his, like, his real character and his, the things that make him a good character to help the main hero, to help Mulan, and that is his, like, entire purpose, which definitely helps as the whole, like, ancestor guardian thing. I'm not sure how that was supposed to work, but, like, his whole purpose and mission is to protect Mulan, so that definitely helps. But yeah, he definitely is one of the most helpful, I guess, side characters, if that makes sense. Um, I feel like, I feel like he was just more there for Mulan, and I mean, again, it kind of had to be, but I feel like he did a little bit more to help than most side characters, which is definitely good. Um, you know, and he went through all of the stuff with her, and he also did have his own little story that got resolved in the end. And I think that his charm carried into the next movie. It's been a minute since I watched Mulan 2. I remember liking it the first time I watched it, but I haven't watched it in a while again. I think he's had the same kind of vibe, but just his charm and the appeal of him is like, it's so good. He's just, you have to root for him. He's too sassy and quotable not to. So yeah, Mushu for sure. All right, at number 2. So this character coincidentally may have been number 2 on my characters in general list, which is quite interesting, and I don't know how to comment on that because I have no idea what it means. It definitely means something when they are higher or lower, but being in the exact same spot, I have no idea how to give extra commentary to that because that's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's like this character is everything incredible and iconic again, but there's just one more. There's just one more who's a little bit better. At number 2, from The Emperor's New Groove, I have Kronk. Again, villain sidekick. Arguably, and literally in the sequel, Kronk you could say that this guy is the main character. I would hear you out. I would hear that argument for sure. But at the end of the day, the type that he is given, that he is presented as, is Yzma's sidekick, Yzma's henchman. But just so much more, so different, and so much better than any other henchman ever has been, because first of all, he's just an amazing, genuinely great person. He speaks chipmunk or squirrel or something, speaks probably a lot of woodland creatures now that I think about it. Again, just being quotable, I think that's an important sidekick thing, and he is endlessly quotable. Just hilarious. Patrick Warburton, incredible performance, has all of the elements coming together. Not too much depth there, just a big stupid funny guy, but he does it impeccably. It just immaculately does that one note thing. He kind of is a little one note, but it works because he pulls it off to where it doesn't matter. It just works. And I think that deserves all the recognition, and I think Kronk is an incredible character. Just, I can't, there's no way I'd be able to pick a favorite character from The Emperor's New Groove, but obviously he's just as incredible as everyone and everything and every line in that movie is, and he represents what about this movie is incredible. And as a sidekick, might not have been the most helpful to Yzma, but I pronounce it different than I did before. It's Yzma, not Yzma, but I just said Yzma, and that sounded funny. But anyway, he's even better for that because she's the bad guy, and he does eventually turn it around and help the good guys. So he's an even better type of sidekick because he's a double agent sidekick. So he has layers. Kind of. And he's yeah. Yep. He's got the layers for sure. So just Kronk being iconic, just iconic in every way, and his role happened to be a sidekick, and just I thought he was better than all of the other sidekicks before. So yeah, Gronk for sure. All right, moving on to the numero uno spot in my Disney sidekicks list. I don't know if I could have given this to anyone else. Just I love this movie too much, and it does win a lot. I will say, but I think this pair, because it is two, because you can't freaking separate them. But this pair is just too iconic. They are the definition. Like all of these other characters before have been great examples of what a Disney sidekick is. These two are the definition of what a Disney sidekick has to be. It's just iconic, funny, deep, deep relationship to the main character, helping the plot move along, and just supporting their main character, and being endlessly quotable, and just all of the things that I've talked about. They are just the embodiment of this. And who else? Who else could I be talking about but Timon and Pumbaa from The Lion King? Is there some bias because The Lion King is my favorite Disney movie of all time? Heck yes, there is some bias. What kind of stupid question is that? Yes, there is some bias. That is a reason why they're on this list. But just let it be noted that Disney King, Lion King, has not won all of my Disney lists. I would like to point that out. I am a fair and balanced judge. But, no, I'm not. But, um, Timon and Pumbaa, I don't know how I could not give the best sidekick award to somebody who is not Timon and Pumbaa. Just, again, like, I don't know how to explain it well enough because they just perfectly embody everything. Like, I can't even name, I couldn't possibly pick a favorite quote from them. Hakuna Matata is one of the most, like, catchy, just feel good, feel great Disney songs of all time. Uh, they are such a great duo, just them together. Timon is so snarky and again just super sassy, and Pumbaa is super sweet and super stupid. So they perfectly complement each other, and just they go so well together. And they also have a deep relationship to Simba, deeper than anybody else on this list. They helped raise the dude, and therefore they have a lot more stake in his plot than most side characters do. But yet they are still there to help Simba move along in his whole quest that he's doing, and they do great at that. They absolutely kick butt against Scar and his forces, and they mastermind some great plans, and just they're very very helpful, and just iconic in every single way. I don't know how to put it into words properly how iconic this duo is. As just this is what Disney Sidekicks is. These two are what it should be. They are the standard for me, at least. And all other Disney sidekicks just are looking up to them. They can be as great as they possibly can be, but I don't think we'll ever get another Timon and Pumbaa. It was a peak for me in a lot of ways, just like Lion King was, but it was they're just incredible. The embodiment of a Disney sidekick. All right, that is the end of the list. Thank you guys again for watching. Make sure to comment who's your favorite Disney sidekick down below and why. But I don't even know why I say and why, because you guys don't be commenting. If you do, thank you, first of all. I know some of you do, but just if you don't, you should, because that's really fun. I really like seeing comments. But if you don't, so be it. I guess you don't want to engage and have a discussion, but whatever. And make sure to share and like and follow and subscribe and do those stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.